Hi everybody, I'm Ellen. I'm Buckeye Cross Stitcher on both FlossTube and Instagram. Today is February 22nd, 2026, and this is FlossTube number 17. My channel is predominantly about cross stitch and occasionally other crafting that I do. I'd like to welcome everyone who's new, and I'd like to welcome back especially my subscribers, and I really appreciate all of you stopping by. Actually, tomorrow, February 23rd, is my 1-year FlossTubeaversary. So I can't believe it's been a year. I can't believe I've done 17 videos, and really never thought that I was going to stick with this. But I'm really glad that I did, because I am having fun with it. It kind of marries my love of photography and video and crafting, and as long as I have good content to put on these videos, I think I'm going to continue with it. I do like the 1 month schedule, so unless I have something special that I would want to do a video for separately, I probably will stay on the 1 month schedule. So today, I wanted to tell you that I did pick a word for the year. It was kind of late in January when I did that, but you see FlossTubers talk about their word of the year, and the last couple of years I've kind of used the word intentional. I wanted to be intentional about what I was stitching, what I was crafting, what I really wanted to get done. So now I have a basket full of finished stitches that need to be FFO'd. So I decided my word for this year needs to be finish, and my goal is to finish 3 or 4 projects every month. So I'm hoping to have a lot of good fun things to show you. I also wanted to thank Janet Jabber. I had a viewer that commented that she recommended my video, so I'm really thankful for that. I've been a long-time viewer of Janet's and have gotten to meet her on a couple occasions, so I really appreciate it, and thanks, Janet, if you're watching. And let's see, what else do we need to talk about? I wanted to tell you that most of this is pre-recorded. It takes a little while to do editing and that kind of thing, and I really wanted to post it on my 1-year anniversary, so you will see mostly pre-recorded things. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy. In this floss tube, I have new starts. I have FFOs to show you and a little bit of haul. And I did want to talk about the Stitch the Winter Olympics. This is hosted by the Naptime Stitcher, Katie. And I guess she's done this before, but I'm not real big on following along with WhipGo and that kind of thing. I really just usually stitch on what I want to stitch on, and most of the time I'm a monogamous stitcher. So, but I thought this would be a great way for me to get a lot done on One Nation, just concentrate on that and try to get a lot done on it, which I have, so it's worked out great. Back in the day when I was a scrapbooker, I used to take those 2 weeks of the Olympics and work on one project. I'd just take over the dining room table and throw all my stuff out there, and every time I was watching the Olympics, I was working on scrapbooks. So I thought, it can work for stitching too. So these are the PDFs that you get in her file that she sends. There's the calendar. You get a couple of pages where you can write notes, and what I've been writing on there is when we get a gold, who it was, and what the sport was. And that's the cover. And then she gives a little bit of information about the Winter Olympics, where it was, and that talks about the Paralympic Games and all that kind of thing, and sharing it on, she wanted us to share on her Facebook group, the Naptime Stitcher Facebook group, and to also tag her on Instagram. So that's what I was doing. And then you get pages like this, and this is where the prompts are. So like the first day, February 6th, this was a new start or something you started in 2026. Well, I didn't want to do that there. I wanted to start a One Nation, since that's what I was concentrating on. But I did end up, excuse me, working on 4 different projects. So it's hard to believe that we are on what day are we on? We're on day 15 already, and it's over on Sunday. So she gives you a project detail sheet, and so I filled that out for the projects that I worked on. One Nation, I started a Halloween pop-up gathering, Happy Halloween, because we had a February the 13th, so she did a Halloween prompt on there. And then I started a Happy Valentine's Day from the Sip and Stitch from Primrose, and a word swap January from Stitching with the Housewives. And then there was a word search, which that was fun. That's one of my favorite kind of puzzles to do, so I did that right away. So that was a lot of fun to do, and I'm really enjoying the Olympics this year. Thrilled that the girls got the gold in hockey, and really excited for all the athletes. I mean, I sit there and I'm just in awe of what they do. So it's really exciting to see them on the world stage. So that is about it for that, and stay tuned for a lot of other video clips and fun things to see. So I had a new start. I've been stitching doing the Stitching the Winter Olympics prompts by the Naptime Stitcher, and I'll show you a little bit more about that later. But one of the prompts led me to pick this for a new start. This is Snowmen. It's the word swap for January by Stitching with the Housewives. And so I only worked on it one day, but I got this far. But I wanted to say I am loving the Tropical Paradise Classic Colorworks for that. It's so pretty. It's like you can use that for the ocean, or you can use that to make things look icy. And I think that's why she chose that color for this. But I'm just loving that. So I need to get back to that after the Olympics are over. And I have a few more of the word swaps that I want to do lined up. So I'm kind of behind in the seasons, but I'll get caught up, and they'll be ready for next year. So another project that I started that I was using for a couple of the prompts in the Winter Olympic stitching is Happy Valentine's Day. I think that's so cute, and I love the colors on that. So this is how far I've gotten, and I was able to stitch on this for a couple of days. So there's kind of a lot of stitching yet to go, especially in the branch, and then I've got some strawberries that go across the bottom here, but I just love that. And I'm keeping all of this in my Bitsy Bob. Kelly Stodola used to make these, and I just love that with peanuts. And I found a little zipper pull that kind of matched it. I don't know if you can see that. But inside I've got my threads, and I got a floss bed here. There's a magnet under the scissors thing, but I know she had a pattern for this available, but I don't think it is anymore because she's taken her shop down. But she's got a new floss tube now, and I think it's called Crafty Kelly. So if you're looking for her, it's no longer, what was it, Kelly? So Calico is what it used to be. I think it's Crafty Kelly now. So if you want to try to find her, but she's just doing regular floss tubes now. But I'm so happy I got that. Another one that I'm using for some of the prompts in the, actually she had a Halloween prompt in there for the Stitching the Winter Olympics, because she had stitch Halloween and then stitch something that had a house. So I've stitched on this for 2 days, but I'm trying to finish up my Halloween pop-up gathering projects, and so this is the bigger one to do. And I'm doing this on 14 count Stormy Night Vintage Ada. So this is all the further I've got on it. Got a long way to go, but it's a long way to Halloween, right? So hopefully I can have that done. And I have one more small pattern in there. I think it came with the newsletter or something like that. This was the pop-up gathering from, I think it was 2023. And so I want to get those projects all done and finished and have them up for Halloween. The last project I've been working on during the Olympics is One Nation. I decided, since I want to try to get that finished for this year, for the 250th, that I had better work on it. So I used most of the prompts, the daily prompts for One Nation, and I've got a lot done. I was able to finish the red. I sprayed this again, and then I kind of rinsed it out. I really like how it turned out. And now I've started on the white. I got a long way to go on the white, but my goal is December 31st. So I have 2 days a week. I'm going to do Whip Wednesday for One Nation, and I'm also stitching on it on Sundays. So this is where I'm at. Gotta kind of get back way back here, but I just started the white stars a couple days ago, and I did customize the bottom row. I put the 1776 to 2026, and then on the other side I put 250th and my initials. So that's the red. And Ohio is stitched in white, but I will be stitching Ohio in red. So that's One Nation, and I'm really, really happy to be getting all this progress done on it. I'm on a mission. So the other whip I'm working on every Sunday is I am stitching 7 stars every Sunday for the whole week for Happy 250th Birthday America by Primrose. And I'm using Battleship by Color and Cotton for the blue, and I will be adding 2 rows to make that 50 stars. And I'm using the B5200 called for the white, and for the red I'm using Buckeye Scarlet by Needleworks. So it's amazing how fast that's going, how fast Sundays roll around, and you gotta stitch 7 more stars. Time does fly. But I'll be happy to have that done on July 4th. I wanted to add for the Happy 250th Birthday from Primrose, I'm using 25 count oatmeal vintage cloth by Lori Holt. I got this at that corner shop, and I really like the modeling in that. You can see that. So you get a big, huge piece. You could do probably 3, maybe 4 small projects on it. So I'm really enjoying stitching on this. So another whip I'm working on, actually this was my New Year, New Start. This is American Sampler by Primrose. And I haven't seen it for a while because I did not set this up in a prompt for the Winter Olympics. So I'm kind of happy to see it again. A lot of stitching on this. So it'll take me a while yet, but I've gotten a lot of good progress on it. I had taken this with me when I went to Stitch Away, and I actually got the whole bottom done when I went there. So I've got a lot to do yet on this, a lot going on in the tree. And then there's some wording on it that I've got to do in the flag. But I love this project. I have to concentrate on it though. All this fencing and stuff, all the flowers, filling those in, and several things are going to be going on in the tree. But anyway, I really love it. I will be so happy to have that finished and up in my home. I had some questions on, well, I've been posting One Nation a lot since I've been working on it and working on it through the Olympics. So I've had some questions about the antiquing spray that I used, and this is called Instant Antique, and it's from Primitive Gatherings, but I think you can get it at most quilt shops or LNS's. I got this from Fat Quarter Shop. You get a lot. As you can see, I have sprayed the crap out of One Nation, and I still have like that much left. But it gives a walnut kind of look to it. I would really prefer more of a mahogany look, like a little bit of red in there. But anyway, this is what I got and what I've been using. So after I stitched the blue thread, I sprayed One Nation. I made a little makeshift clothesline out in the yard, so spraying this wouldn't get on anything or stain anything else. And I used clothespins to clip it up on there. And then I just finished the red thread and I sprayed it again. Really, really good, really saturated it. And I let it dry overnight, and then I decided I was going to rinse it and just see how much came out. There was a lot actually. That water was pretty black. But since I'm using DMC, I wasn't worried about the thread, running or anything like that. But anyway, I rinsed it in cold water until I didn't have any more, dark coming out. But I really like the way it looked. It does look primitive. I'm stitching the white in B5200. I'm thinking that might be a little too bright, and I may end up spraying it again. So anyway, but that's what I used, Instant Antique. So I decided for 2026, I have so many things in my finishing basket that I am determined to get 3 or 4 things FFO'd every month. So this month I was able to finish. I actually stitched or started this at Stitch Away. So I finished this by Heart and Hand, Doodles Red, White, and Blue. And this was done on 14 count Veldspar Zweigart Lugana with the DMC threads. And I found the paddle when Jim and I had taken a train ride to Hinton, West Virginia. So I saw that and I thought that was really fitting for this. It's a little more prim, kind of a time-worn paddle, and I just love it on there. So as soon as May rolls around, I'll be getting all my patriotic out and this will be going on the hutch or somewhere in my decor. So I'm happy to have that done. My next FFO is Winter Wonderland Pillow by Primrose. I stitched this actually last year on 28 count light ash gray Zoigart Lugana, and I used DMC and Cottage garden threads with it. I had purchased both the stitching and the finishing kit for this. So I actually finished it on one of our very, very cold winter days and this year, and we had about 12 inches of snow on the ground. So I've got my little tarp back there and my label, and I always sew all the way around once I do the pillow front and get that ready. Then I put SF 101 iron-on interfacing on the whole piece. I put it on the whole piece for the accent fabric in the back, and then sew it right sides together all the way around the pillow 2 times. And then I make the slit in the pillow in the back and turn it. And then I don't really iron it, but let me see, let me get it. I have this little hand roller by Fat Quarter Shop, and I will roll around the edges of the pillow a little bit just to kind of set the stitches in there. And then I stuff it. I put yarn in the corners to stuff the corners, because most of the time the fiber fill just does not want to stay there. So Helen D is the one who actually came up with that idea, and I do that for every pillow now. I stuff probably about just 1 foot of one little ruler of yarn, scrap yarn that I have, and put it in each corner to fill those out. And then I stuff, like Wanda always used to tell us to stuff more than you think. And I do like my pillows kind of plump. I don't put anything else in them. I don't like the natural things like the walnut shells and the poly pellets. I did that with one pillow, and I haven't been happy with it since I did that. But anyway, I just like the regular fiber fill, and I stuff it really full, and then I sew the slit together, and I use Aleene's glue to put the patch on the back, and Aleene's glue to do this after I've sewn my charm on. So that's how I do my pillows. I think that one turned out really cute. My next FFO is My Heart Is Yours Pinkeep. This is by Luminous Fiber Arts. And I stitched this in 2022. So I was trying to get all of my Valentine's things fully finished, and pulled that out of the basket. So this was stitched on 32 count soft porcelain Lugano, and I used Classic Colorworks Cupid for the stitching. And I purchased the kit to finish it. So the kit came with the felt from Lady Dot Creates, and the ribbon and the buttons. Actually, there's a little button back here too. And I just had this wool in my collection to finish the pillow back. But I just think that's adorable. It also came with the pins, and it came with the charm, if you can see that. But I love it, and I've already had it on the hutch. So I was able to get that one done. So my last FFO, this is one that I had stitched in 2020, is another Luminous Fiber Arts, a Bluebird's Message. This one, I sourced everything myself. This was 16 count white Aida fabric that I had. And I used DMC threads and Weeks Dye Works Turkish Red. And then the rayon ribbon that I used to do the ruched ribbon is called Peony. And then I used more of that velveteen that I had left over to do the back on this, and then the wool patch. And usually if I stitch my initials in the year, I don't put my label on the back, but I've been kind of thinking I might want to add my label on there and not necessarily do a charm with it maybe. But the only thing I changed on this was I added a little heart in the center of those hearts. But I think this is so adorable. And these Valentine things will stay on the hutch for another week. I usually keep them up for the whole month of February, so I will be able to enjoy it for about a week or so. I got some haul that I wanted to share with you. This is the Free Stitch Friday for February. Lucky. Really cute. So I got the stitching kit, which is a 32 count platinum Lugana to stitch it on, and then Classic Colorworks and B5200 DMC. And then I got the finishing kit also. So that's got 2 fabrics in there, the wool and the jute string to finish it. And our goodie was this little needle minder. Let's see if I can show it. Here we go. So that was really cute. And I think you can buy that now in their shop. So I will enjoy having that to stitch for St. Patrick's Day. I've got a few things for St. Patrick's, but like Valentine's, I need to get busy and get some more things so I can fill up the hutch. I got my copy of Just Cross Stitch magazine. And there were some cute things in here. One I liked particularly was, this is called Flowers and Stitches sampler. Might not be able to see it really well, but it has all kinds of specialty stitches in the flowers there, monochromatic. I thought that was really interesting. But the reason I like getting these magazines is to see different finishes, how they do them, you know, just for ideas and that kind of thing. And I think there was one in here, it was kind of like a Teresa Kogut thing that she did. I think it was actually for Christmas, but where she melted Santas, I think it was, on a stick like that. So I really enjoy being able to see exactly how they do those things. So if nothing else, it's good for some ideas for finishing. I've been collecting Priscilla's seed pack, the tier trade tidbits, for a long time. I have a lot of them stitched, but she's starting to do themed ones now. Like she did some Halloween ones, Christmas, and then Valentine's. So these are the ones that I purchased last month. I guess they came out. And what I really appreciate is that she's kept these small patterns at $5 on her Etsy shop. That's unheard of. Everybody's raising their prices so much, but she's done right by us by keeping these $5, and they're PDFs, so they're easy to get a hold of. This one is Bleeding Hearts, and she said these are actual plants. And this one is Garden Gate Seeds. And then sweet pea seeds. Red rose seeds. And this is a bachelor button. And this one also came with the bonus, which is Valentine seed shop. So those are nice to have, and I have, like I say, I have a lot of them stitched up, and one day I hope to figure out how I really want to finish them. But make them look like seed packs, do little pillows. I'm just not sure yet. So I keep looking for ideas. So if you've done some, let me know, and let me know how you finished them. So Primrose just released a bunch of beach related charts, and they're just so cute. I had to get some, even though I don't live by the beach. I do visit the beach, and I like to have a little bit of a display in the summertime with some beach things. And I've also used some for memory stitches for vacations that we've taken. So I had to get beach Quaker because I collect all the Quakers and the quilts. So I got that one and the finishing kit for that. And I got stickers, of course, for, I'm sure better hopefully, for my journaling. So I like to use these when I actually fully finish a project and in my journaling, and then the rest of them I'll just use for random things. But I also got the sea turtle needle minder, which is so sweet. And then I got the beach rules because I'm collecting all of the rules books. The only one I don't really care to have is the quilting one because I don't quilt, but I have all the rest of them. So you can do these, and they show in individual pillows like that, or all together. And I know they have finishing kits and stitching kits and all that for it. And so just really adorable, and had to add them to my library. You might have noticed I've relocated for this floss tube. I'm up in the craft room. Jim has been renovating the fireplace area, so he took the old stove out and he's going to install an electric fireplace in there, but that means he has to build a wall. So he's been working on that project, and of course we've got a lot going on down there, so I came upstairs to record this time. I wanted to show you a couple things before I go. These Lowe's little buckets, they are so cute. You know, I know you've seen them all over social media, but I picked up a couple of them, and what I'm using them for is up here I really didn't have like a trash can by where I stitch when I'm on Zoom with my girls. So I got this to put forks in over by my stitchy spot. But I thought that'd be a great idea for those. And of course, you know, you can get them and fill them up for Valentine's or whatever. We've already had Valentine's Day, but or for kids, little snacks or something like that, because they are food safe. But I thought those were so cute, and I love that it was in pink. And I wanted to share, I picked out my birthday start, which will not be till June, but I did decide on it. And so I'm doing a lot of patriotic this year, and I decided I'm making this my birthday stitch this year. So I'll be getting that all kitted up and ready for June 12th. So thank you for stopping, and I'm really excited about my FlossTube anniversary and looking forward to continuing these videos, and I will be back in March. So until we meet again, be excellent to each other.